Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the link to my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can find all of my services and opportunities for donation, my TikTok and my Instagram channel are all listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Capricorn, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today, the What We've Forgotten Oracle deck and the Tarot of the Abyss. Cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. What messages? Okay, that was fast. You got a few cards that came out here. Let's look at all of them. Oh, this is really interesting. This card came out in the Taurus reading, so you might want to watch that. That was a doozy, I will tell you. Number 42, which corresponds to the number 6 in the major arcana, the Lover's card, and it's control room goals. Such a wacky and bizarre phrasing, I feel, for, it's not very you know why it's weird? It's not very woo-woo. It's not very... It feels very harsh, actually. It's like the control room goals, of course. Control room. Which makes me think of the Wizard of Oz, when they discovered who the wizard was. The person behind the mask, the curtain, who is really in control here. But what's interesting is corresponding to the Lover's card. The Lover's card in the tarot represents a choice point. So you could be at this very crucial place in your life where you are making a crucial decision. Number 32 is the next card, corresponds to the 5, the Hierophant, the major arcana, unconditional love. I don't know, are you... The first thing I wanted to say is, are you getting married? But then the second thing that I wanted to say was, are you finally falling in love with yourself? Not in an egotistical way, but in a true love for self. Or are you experiencing unconditional love because you've never experienced it before? Like, to truly love someone without expectation, it's difficult. I think the only unconditional love that I've ever felt in my life was for my pets, my animals. Yeah, that's unconditional love. For people, no. That's a very interesting card. And I'm also drawn to the shape. Anytime you see pyramids, triangles, this is sacred shapes, right? They're conduits for energy. They're the most kind of efficient shape for energy. And it's all leading upwards, right? So this actually makes me think of like a vault. Turning of the, unlocking of the vault. Have you kept this under wraps, this love that you're capable of? Has it been under lock and key? Number 53 is the last card. Corresponds to the 8 in the major arcana. That's the Strength card, Leo energy. ancestors. This card came out for another sign. I can't remember which. I think it was a fire sign. But it's like the ancestors are having like a coffee clutch. Like, let's have a little meeting and talk about things. Talk about where we want to go moving forward. You can also talk about the fact that they're supporting you, that their love supports you continuously throughout space and time. Spirit is showing me, okay, I just want to hold them all up. Spirit, okay, Spirit, can you help me hold these? So what they're showing me here, what my eye is drawn to is the center spherical shapes at the center of each card. It's almost as if this came out in the Virgo reading, this theme of superimposition. It's almost as if if I could hold it correctly, this card would be in front, this card would be slightly behind, and this one would be even further back. It's almost as if you are calibrating something in your life right now, or something in your consciousness, something in your etheric body, Spirit wanted me to say, your spiritual body here. And what it does is it unlocks something within you, kind of like a Kundalini awakening, right? All the chakras blow open. And when it unlocks that thing, then you have access. You have access to maybe the Akashic records, space and time, to your ancestors, to your spirit guides. And it goes even further. You can see it goes even further beyond, further. I was going to say further back, but that's not what I mean. It's not like we're going back in time. It's just like further into the cosmos, into space-time. Spirit is showing, I've been watching a lot of Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson lately, like his podcasts and his YouTube page, which is called Star Talk. If you haven't watched it, it's great. It's funny. It's a little corny because they're scientists, but like I kind of love it. I don't always agree with it, but I love it. Not agree with it. It's not that I disagree. It's more just like sometimes, you know, Dr. Tyson is like, he's kind of like really hard and fast when it comes to the separation, the separation between science and spirituality feels, and I'm not trying to speak for him, but just based on what he's said that I have listened to, it feels very like a hard and fast rule, a very clear delineation that science and spirituality cannot overlap at all. And I have always lived my life in the exact opposite of that, where science and spirituality are completely intertwined for me. So it's this sense that, anyway, that was an aside. There was an episode where he was talking about, he was explaining the science, I guess, behind the movie Interstellar and many, many movies about traveling throughout space. It's like traveling throughout space and then returning back to Earth to find like everybody you loved just died, or like they're old now, or even though you were only gone for 10 seconds, right? That's always tripped me up as a concept. I think it's the general theory of relativity. Actually, I don't know. But he explained in depth how that works. As if you could travel at the near speed of light, right, then you could traverse, you know, a trillion miles in 1 second or whatever. I don't know what the speed of light is, but I don't know what it actually is in terms of a calculation. But it's that sense that you traveled so quickly that you traversed that distance, which for you felt like an instant. But that level of distance to someone here on Earth is so huge that the passage of time on Earth is so great that by the time you return back, everything would be gone. So I don't know why that's necessarily relevant to you in this reading. It's more just that the way that we think about past, present, and future, even though I'm about to do a past, present, and future reading, it's all relative. You might like Friends. That's a very specific Friends reference. I'm not going to get into it, but if you know, you know. It's the sense that past, present, and future are for you somehow in flux. They're somehow malleable. Let's get into it. 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier, past, present, and future, and at the end, advice from Spirit. Advice from Spirit. Okay. I put down the deck and the first card on the top slid, so I'm going to take it. 3 of Cups. Not a big fan of the 3 of Cups, just in general. You know, I've done a lot of quiet contemplation about the 3 of Cups, 3 of Cups to myself about why I don't like it so much. And I think the answer is that I've never been a fan of groups of 3. Whenever I go out to eat or to whatever, in social situations, I hate groupings of 3. Because it feels like instead of connecting with just one person, I now have to divert my attention and split my attention between 2. And there's something to that for your reading. It's almost like maybe there's a preference for you to continuously look back at the past. But there is a present to be lived and a future to be looked forward to. And it frustrates you that you have to split your attention between those 3 modes of being. It's just one example. 3 of Cups normally, in like a kind of traditional sense, talks about celebration. It's a celebration card. But I'm not going to read the card in the way that Google would tell me to, because look at that girl's face. She looks so suspect. She looks so, like, there's like these, thank you, Spirit. It's like these secrets, some secrets. You're coming with authenticity, though. I don't know why. It's like I just see this hand, but it's just like, yes. Okay, I got it. Spirit is showing me a scenario from just last night. I went out with a group of friends, and it was so bizarre because I was out with a group of friends from work, actually, and I was walking through kind of this downtown area that I live near, and I saw my very good friend, like one of my closest friends, with her friend, And so I was so, I don't, even though we live near each other, I don't see her out in public very often. I only ever run into her. We hang out all the time, but I only ever run into her when she's with somebody else and I'm with somebody else. It's very bizarre. And so I just said, hey, and I gave her a big hug or whatever, and I introduced her to the people I was with. And in that same moment, in that same area, to my right, there was another coworker and his significant other. And it was like, on either side of me, people that I know. And so my attention was diverted because I was with people. Then there was my friend, and then there was my other coworker that I really like, and he was with his partner that I never met. And then my friend was with her friend that I never met. So I'm an introvert, and I'm an empath, and for me, that was like a nightmare. Even though I was so happy to see everybody, it was like, who do I turn to? Who do I pay attention to? Who do I give my attention to so nobody feels left out? And what I ended up doing was putting all my attention on this coworker's significant other who he recently got engaged to. And instead of just being a normal person and just saying, hi, it's so nice to meet you. It's so nice to meet you, like really kind of demure and just like calm, apparently, and this is what they all told me, I walked towards this man with my hand outstretched like this. Can you imagine? I'm walking with my hand outstretched, but I'm walking at the same time. It's so nice to meet you. Like, I don't walk up to him and then outstretch my hand. My hand's just like there before I even get there. And the friends that I was with were like, you came on very, very strong. And I was like, what do you mean? I just was so excited to meet him. Like, I just wanted to shake his hand and say, hi, it's so nice to meet you and congratulations and blah, blah, blah. But they were really judging me about it. And now I'm kind of obsessing about it because I'm like, yeah, I was a little aggressive. I can be aggressive. But authentic. I was very authentic. Right? But the judgment. So there's Spirit's kind of laughing at me right now. But it has to do with your reading because it's kind of like, maybe you're trying to approach life in the most authentic way that you know how. But there could be some great misunderstanding about your motivation, your motives. What is our intention? Right? As we move through space-time, what is our intention? I'm being drawn back to these cards again. As you start to unlock things, what are you hoping to achieve, accomplish? It's not about everything has to be like some measure of accomplishment, but we're here to live our lives to the fullest. And so it's kind of good to be clear about what your goals are, even if they're spiritual. Like, what's my goal? To kind of come closer to myself. Thank you, Spirit. Come closer to myself, thereby, or in effect, becoming closer with others, to connect with Spirit, to live a spiritual life, to up-level my abundance. Maybe you're not really super into the spiritual life, like you like it, but like you're trying to like make good with your two hands here on earth. So there's something about that. What is your authentic intention behind what you're doing? In the past energy, 3 of Wands, whatever it was, you were not willing to wait. 3 of Wands can talk about waiting for your ships to come in. Waiting for the perfect moment. When arguably there is never a perfect moment, just a series of moments. Whatever it was in your past energy, you were not patient. You did not want to wait. You were really, I think, in haste with the World card. Major Arcana number 21. You were trying to like close out a cycle. Spirit just said, right quick. I was just trying to close out that cycle right quick. What cycle did this have to, what did this have to do with? Strength. Number 8, the Major Arcana, Leo energy. This is a card of mastering the ego. It is, the 8 is the number of the self. This unconditional love, it's not about, it's for you. It's about you coming to grips with your divinity and your beautiful heart. Filling your own cup first. Unlocking what that even means. What does that even look like? The first thing it looks like is this acceptance that we have fears in our life that from time to time can control us, like the fear of judgment. Now, Spirit singing If I Could Turn Back Time by Cher. If I could turn back time to last night, I might not have approached that gentleman with such gusto with my handshake. Maybe I would have had a little bit more self-control, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not going to worry too much about it because I know where my heart was. I always know where my heart is. And I can't always control my emotions. I can't always control my actions. But my heart, I know what my heart feels, right? So maybe that's something that you are coming to grips with right now. Literally, as I'm gripping this, this is a tourmaline crystal. I'm gripping this. It's like protection. I wasn't gripping it before, but I felt compelled to pick it up. It's hard. It's hard to love ourselves. We almost want to protect ourselves from that. It's like, but what if I unlock everything inside of me and I find out that I'm just a really ugly person? That I'm needy, that I'm codependent, that I'm weak, that I'm stupid, right? I'm not telling you these things. Spirit's not telling you these things. It's the ego that you're trying to master right now that keep you in fear. Fear from disappointment. Feeling very protective. In the present energy, well, why Two of Cups? Two of Cups can be divine partnership, a relationship, but it can also talk about the connection between you and your higher self, you and your soul. Coming together with it. Imagine you on the earthly plane and you in the 5D, your soul. If you could talk to your soul, right now I'm starting to feel the tunneling in my ear, your spirit guides. If you could actually come face to face with your soul, you would find something really beautiful. But that could be very difficult for some of you to internalize. But I see you trying here, absolutely. It's clarified by the Four of Swords. Wake up. Four of Swords is the card of rest and recuperation after heartbreak. We're not fighting Our weapons are on the fence. We've hung up our helmet. Just chilling. But the card is in reverse. The Spirit is saying, you gotta wake up. Gotta look at things directly. Gotta be engaged. And I said engaged, I mean maybe like actually engaged to someone else, but also engaged with the effort, engaged with the pursuit of knowledge like this. The depth of it, the breadth of it, the expansion of it. It's tremendously profound, and it could be really difficult for a Capricorn to melt into. I will tell you, of all of these readings so far I've done, you're the last of the earth signs. I've done water and fire so far. The earth signs have gotten the most esoteric, wacky, beautifully, I mean, the other readings were good too, but it's like, these readings have been so challenging to convention. Because sometimes the earth signs can be really comfortable in convention. I know what the rules are. I can work within the rules. I can thrive within the rules. I can thrive within the box of the matrix. I know how to work the system. I know how to make it work for me. But when we're talking about things on an esoteric level, it's like, where do you even begin? It's so infinite. But you're trying here. We're trying to suss it out. Can I have a clarifier for the Two of Cups? Thank you. Look. I just asked for a clarifier for the Two of Cups and I got the Lover's card. This card is this card in the Minor Arcana, right? They're basically kind of like the same. This is in the material world and this is like with spirit, right? And this card, remember I said number 42 corresponds to the Lover's card because they're both sixes. That is a confirmation, right? What is it a confirmation of? Like, this is the struggle. We want to connect, but then we're scared to connect. We want to connect, but then we're afraid to make those decisions. We're afraid to make those moves. Because it's very exposing. But that's precisely it. It's right, we're in the material world, all buttoned up. And then we move to another dimension where things seem a little bit more fluid. Sacred geometry, really heady. And then we're just like in another dimension, right? Future potential, King of Wands. I mean, when you finally make that connection to your higher self, it's gonna... That's the thing about it, right? When you up-level yourself spiritually, you up-level yourself materially. Just take it from me. There's so many ways, right, that I still struggle with like a lot of like money blockages, and a lot of people do. And then I ask Spirit for help. And the help comes from like left field, which my other left field. That's very funny. It surprises me. Then I realize I work with Spirit to manifest it. So why should I be surprised? I should be elated. I should say, thank you, Spirit. It still surprises me, right? When we are working with energies like these, we can become quite unstoppable. King of Wands talks about somebody who's immensely passionate, attractive. It's got everything going for him. It's just divine masculine energy. Doesn't have to describe a man. But it does talk about somebody who is just experiencing a level of mastery over their element, mastery over the passion the fire, the impulse, the inertia. Nine of Swords in the reverse. This is the Nightmare energy card. Nightmare, overthinking. You got it in the reverse. Lifting out of that now. It's almost like Spirit just showed me a chalkboard and a chalkboard eraser, and just all of that mess just being erased away, wiped away. Okay, clarifier. Yeah, Ten of Wands, releasing the burden. Recognizing what the burden has been, first of all. And then releasing it so we can walk our path, traveling light. Wow, Spirit just showed me using the kindling from using all of our experiences as the kindling for this fire. Let me get a card of advice from Spirit. Advice from Spirit. Look, you see what I told you? Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. It's the material world version of abundance. And self-made abundance. Self-made abundance. Something to be proud of. My crown is a little buzzy. When you start to open yourself up, like truly open yourself up. Vulnerability is the word of the day here. Spirit's going to start to reward you. Not just with material things, but with a sense of accomplishment, gratitude, peace. Beautiful. There's a challenge here, for sure. Some of it has to do with the ego. How am I representing myself? What do people think of me? That's still on the table. But ultimately, if you can find your way back to your higher self, that's the ticket. It's going to unlock everything for you. So that's your reading, Capricorn. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Capricorn.